Activated, your window into how we can change the way in which we aspire for persons with disabilities, how we change our expectations from seeing inability to expecting ability. Activated takes us on a journey of taking lessons from persons with disabilities in how we must do things differently to unleash the contributions persons with disabilities can and must make to building a disability-inclusive Mzansi. Hello and welcome to Activated with me, Taryn Tomlinson. This is a series that explores disability within the context of our human rights. Today's topic is Nothing About Us Without Us, exploring the world of disability and arts. Art has been a platform for creativity and self-expression since the beginning of time. And it's this use of art that is no different for persons with disabilities. The thing about art is that it allows someone with a disability to switch the focus from what the body is unable to do to what it can do. Now, let's get activated. In today's show, we sat down with Andile Vellem and Nadine McKenzie at the Unmute Dance Company, a performing arts organization whose vision it is to inspire inclusion of persons with disabilities within the society through art. Later in today's show, I'll be chatting to the beautiful Dr. Marlene Roux, who will assist us tapping from her experiences as CEO of the ArtsCape Theatre.
You have your beautiful dress on. You are a diva.
Like many of you watching at home, my childhood years were not a bed of roses. I remember many times feeling a sense of powerlessness and fear. And as an only child, drawing, singing, dancing, and writing were my tools for expressing my emotions. Then, when I became ill at the age of 19, it was art and learning the power of my imagination that helped me to shift those feelings to something more positive and constructive. Art is such a powerful tool for transformation. Let's find out more about inclusive art practices and what it means for persons with disabilities. As a dancer, I am a body on display. As a body on display, I'm expected to reside within a certain continuum of fitness and bodily control, not to mention sensuality and beauty. But as a woman in a wheelchair, I'm neither expected to be a dancer nor to position myself in front of an audience's gaze. Art has been a platform for change since time immemorial. Through art, our world's perspective is questioned, reflected, challenged, observed, and revered. For persons with disabilities, art is a means to make visible that which is often rendered invisible by placing the bodies of those often marginalized by society and putting them on center stage. In a diverse society, coming together in meaningful ways with people who differ linguistically, bodily, religiously, or ethically is one of the most urgent challenges we face. Inclusive art is an essential field of creative practice because it can help people realize creative potential with learning difficulties and facilitate modes of communication and self-advocacy. The processes involved in producing inclusive art may promote new visions of how society might be. Ek het altyd inklusiewe kuns van die perspektief van toeganklikheid gesien, maar dis baie meer. Coming up after the break, we learn more about the work being done at the Unmute Dance Company as we profile two of the co-founders, Andile Vellem and Nadine McKenzie. Welkom terug. In 2013 het die Unmute Dance Company die lig gesien na hulle die uitvoering Unmute geskep het. Dit was die eerste koreografiese stuk van die ensemble deur die danser Andile Vellem wat op sy ervaring as danser gebaseer is. Ons besoek die Unmute Dance Company en ontmoet stigters Andile Vellem en Nadine McKenzie. Unmute Dance Company is a performing arts company whose mission is to inspire the inclusion of people with disabilities within the performing society through their performances, artistic workshops, and exchange programs that encourage activism and awareness of integration. They challenge the misconception of disabilities and encourage people to break barriers.
When I started dancing, I had never in my life imagined that I would one day be one of the co-founders or running an organization such as Unmute. Aside from performances, Unmute has a very big and strong educational program whereby we work in schools, both mainstream and special needs. And we also go to the rural communities and offer workshops and classes there. And based on what we've experienced over the past years, there are not many, especially people with disabilities, that do see themselves being artists or even dancers for that matter. So there is still a lot of stereotypes around what persons with disabilities can do and cannot do. Living with a disability, you don't see yourself taking part in these activities that are mainly seen as for people that are able-bodied. I think art plays a very big role in the world, and also for people with disabilities. Looking at the people that have worked with Unmute before, when introduced to the arts, it has changed their lives tremendously. Firstly, a lot of people don't think that they could be this active. So already in terms of physicality, being able to move in ways that you didn't think you possibly could, and then also giving people the chance to see the world also, because with this work, it also offers a lot of opportunities for people to travel. In terms of confidence also, with our young people that we work with, a lot of them come into the space and they've got issues with confidence. And as time goes on, with the programs that we do offer them and being part of these classes, you slowly start to see how they start to open up to the world and to society, and they start feeling like they are more included. I would say to young people that it's so important to find our own voice and then to just believe in what you want to do in this life and to just go for it.
My name is Andile Vellem. I was born in Umbu, Eastern Cape. I work at Unmute company where I teach sign dancing, and I'm a teaching instructor. I had to inform people that when they decrease the volume level of the music, I am unable to hear it at all. The music needs to be very loud in order for me to feel the vibrations from the speaker through my body. Then I can hear it and connect with it. But when I'm dancing and the music or the singer's voice is low, I follow my dance partner. That is how I stay in sync. My passion is encouraging the growth of the youth, and once they've developed themselves, they can then go out and encourage others, like the ones they go to school with and various other places. They can encourage a variety of people to join us, and we can all connect with each other.
That was ongelooflik. They make me want to dust off my dancing shoes. The Unmute Dance Company stay true to their vision to be Africa's main hub for artists with disabilities that breeds world-class professional integrated artists. Vanmiddag hier saam met my om ons onderwerp van die dag uit te pak, Nothing About Us Without Us, is een van die grootste movers en shakers in die kunswêreld. 'n ma, 'n aktivis, 'n leier in die gemeenskap en die hoof van die ArtsCape Theater, Dr. Marlene Roux. Vriendin, welkom.
Ek dink ons moet eers lag, want ek lag ook maar vir jou eie intro. Ek is eintlik meer 'n fasiliteerder van mense, né?
Jy is 'n fasiliteerder van mense in plaas van die hoof van die ArtsCape.
Nee, yes.
Maar baie mense ken vir jou in die rol as hoof van die ArtsCape, maar baie min mense weet dat jy eintlik ook lekker kan sing.
Man, dit is mos nou hoe ek eintlik my vlekkies begin sprei het.
Jy was tot self in 'n band.
Ek was in 'n band, maar ek kom ons van Wellington af. And one of the beauties from this particular area is that it's been 100 years that the klopse, the minstrel, elkeen kan 'n musiekinstrument bespeel in Wellington. En dan het ek groot geraak met die Kersskore. So van baie jongs af, het ek al getravel in 'n kombi.
Wow.
En dit het my eintlik die gemeenskap vir my laat voel, maar jy's deel van die gemeenskap. So musiek het 'n baie groot rol in my lewe gespeel om myself te emancipate, but ook that I am part of the community.
In your role as CEO of the ArtsCape or facilitator of people, one of the things that you made sure of doing was opening up the theatre for all persons, particularly artists with disabilities. Tell us a bit about some of the programs that are being run from the ArtsCape for artists with disabilities.
To be able to make a government institution accessible, I need to start to train the staff. And it starts there. I needed to start with the HR department. For me was, how do I include persons in spaces that people don't think must be accessible?
Marlene, can you explain to us the importance of inclusive art and really what it means from a transformation perspective for persons with disabilities and society as a whole?
I use the arts as a social inclusion vehicle. When patrons who's disabled comes to the theatre, they mix with immediate effect with society as a whole. So that is one space. Then I said, no, we can't just look at patrons with disabilities, to look at inclusivity and mainstreaming persons with disabilities with a sector that was never open of inclusivity. It should also be artists with disability that should be seen on stage, and you must get out of that particular production and say, wow, I've seen artists.
Marlene, I'd really like to continue this conversation and find out more about the work that is being done at the ArtsCape, but we're first going to an ad break. Bly net waar julle is, ons is nou weer terug. Welkom terug. Ons kuier lekker hier met Dr. Marlene Roux. Universele ontwerp is sentraal tot toeganklikheid en vryheid vir persone met gestremdhede, maar ook vir aktiewe kunstenaars. Marlene, ek was nou al 'n paar keer by die ArtsCape en ek het ook die geleentheid gehad om my opinie te gee aan die einde van die projek. Maar vir die mense en vir die kykers by die huis wat nie weet nie, wat is 'n paar van die veranderinge wat julle gemaak het by die teater?
Een van ons pilare is om op alle vlakke te kyk na die toeganklikheid vir persone vir gestremdheid. Maar dis ook belangrik om te sê ons kyk wel na die patron en ons kyk na die kunstenaar ook. And so what we have done, I had various focus groups. And for me, it was nothing about us without us. We needed to have totally a walkabout with persons on crutches. Then we had wheelchair-bound focus groups. Then we had a society for the blind, to be able also to look at short-sighted people, far-sighted people, about the signages that needs to be.
When you started this role, what was your great vision? What is your great vision for the ArtsCape and for this renovation? Where do you see it in 10 years?
For me, it's about people. For too long in our history, people were invisible. And I always said, Not under my watch will anybody be invisible.
Marlene, what can we as a community do to make sure that art is inclusive of all persons?
It must be seen as a profession. It should be regulated. And we should ring-fence money for artists with disabilities because they need more resources than an artist without a disability.
Absolutely. And Marlene, in closing, is there a word of encouragement that you would like to leave to a child with disability at home who is afraid to step into the spotlight of their own lives?
You need to make it for yourself. You need to make a decision. I am going to be that spotlight. And I want to say a message to parents. You need to make that mind shift of accepting your child with a disability. If your child has become disabled, or if you are a viewer that has become disabled, you need to go on that self-acceptance road. When you start with acceptance, who you are, you start to unpack the road. And with that is to look at, this is an obstacle, how am I going to navigate? The word I want to use, how am I going to navigate my world to make me the person I want to be?
Marlene, baie dankie vir die saamkuier en alle voorspoed vir die jaar wat voorlê.
Terren, jy is 'n inspirasie vir ons almal. High five!
Baie dankie! Wow, I can honestly tell you that I speak from personal experience as someone having been a patron of the ArtsCape Theatre and as well as working alongside the ArtsCape. Marlene and her staff truly do keep the needs and the dreams of the community and of the people at heart. From the ArtsCape here in Cape Town to the National Museum in Bloemfontein, we look at how they are making exhibitions more accessible to persons with disabilities. The National Museum in Bloemfontein dates to the 1870s, when its collection and displays comprised mainly rarities from around the world. It was opened to the public on the 20th of May, 1878. Through donations, purchases, and exchange agreements, the museum's collection slowly got established and grew to a wide variety of natural and human science artifacts.
Ek is Dr. Nico Avenant, departementhoof by soogdierkunde. Ons is 'n natuurhistoriese museum, so ons het al die biologiese wetenskappe, maar dan ook die menslike wetenskappe. So is regtig iets van alles. Ons gebou is te klein om alles uit te stal wat ons wil doen, veral as jy nog iets wil inwerk vir persone met gestremthede. In 2008 het ons 'n huisbak gekry en daarmee saam het ons besef vir die eerste keer kan 'n persoon met 'n rolstoel of 'n blinde persoon kan nou ook op die boonste vloer kom. Voorheen was ons tot 'n groot mate ontoeganklik en die opening van die huisbak het alles verander.
Ek is Dewald Hating. Ek dink nie almal is altyd so bewus van persone met gestremthede se behoeftes nie. Maar ek dink die Nasionale Museum stel 'n wonderlike voorbeeld. Ek het al hier afgekom op plekke waar daar bordjies met brail op is, dat ons self kan lees.
To prepare the platform at which the final blow.
Hierdie gehoorstukkies, omdat jy kan opsit en jy kan luister na die inligting. En dit is werklik wonderlik.
Ons probeer natuurlik soveel as moontlik van die sintuie van 'n persoon aanspreek. So op die oomblik het ons het permanente klank in die museum op 'n paar plekke. Ja, en dan die tas op die oomblik waar daar spesiale kabinette kan oopgemaak word sodat almal nie kan vat daarin.
Two different types of scorpion. As you can feel, this one is a 30.
As sien die persoon kan sien en op afstand sien hoe lyk iets. En dan kan hulle vir jou iets beskryf of vir jou sê lyk so of so. Maar die enigste manier om dit werklik te kan vasstel is om daarin te vat. En dan sal mense agterkom beteken maar hierdie ding voel vir my anders as wat hy vir my beskryf is. Want mense hoor baie keer van 'n skorpioen, jy hoor van 'n renoster, Ek het nie besef dat 'n renoster so geweldig groot is nie.
This one is pure, but also two different.
Soos wat die sien die volle toegang daar het om te kan presies weet hoe 'n ding lyk. Het ons ook daardie begeerte.
Ons salueer die Nasionale Museum van Bloemfontein en die ArtsCape Theater vir hulle toewyding aan die grondwet, deur seker te maak dat mense met gestremdhede nie agterbly nie. Ons het aan die einde van nog 'n episode van Activated gekom. Ek hoop dat ons julle denkwyse geprikkel het en dat hierdie episode julle weer eens geïnspireer het. Onthou, ons kry julle volgende week op dieselfde tyd en dieselfde plek. In closing, we leave you with the melodic voice of singer-songwriter Lois Strachen. Tot volgende keer, tot ziens. As an inspirational speaker and author, Lois is passionate about two things: helping people see their own lives and their challenges in a different way, and demystifying the abilities of those who are blind and low vision to facilitate increased integration into society and the workplace. She lives in Cape Town, South Africa, with her husband and a house full of dogs, one of whom is her guide dog, Fiji.
Little Miss Carly packed her bags and headed for the sun. She left her home in a country garden, waved goodbye, and now she's gone. Heading for the city lights, where those lights they are too bright. Little Miss Polly, where's the party tonight? Wave goodbye and now